Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the May 23rd, 2022 regular meeting of the Gladstone City Council and call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, all of the members of the City Council are present and we have a quorum. Everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Your Honor, the colors are present. Post colors. Present current. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2.
Thank you. You can please be seated. As usual, we want to thank our friends from VFW Post 10906, Joe Lyles, Jim Zimmerman, Stanley Stoner, and Gordon Harris. Thank you, as always, for presenting the colors. Item 4 is approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any issues with this evening's agenda? Seeing none, we'll consider it approved. Item number 5, approval of the minutes from the May 9th, 2022 closed City Council meeting.
Mayor Garnis.
Councilman Malams.
I move to approve the minutes from the May 9th, 2022 closed City Council meeting.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the May 9th, 2022 closed City Council meeting minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes are hereby approved. Item 6 is approval of the minutes from the May 9th, 2022 regular City Council meeting.
Mayor Garnis.
Councilman Malams.
I move to approve the minutes from the May 9th, 2022 regular City Council meeting.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the May 9th, 2022 regular City Council meeting minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The minutes are hereby approved. We'll move on to item 7, everyone's favorite part of the council meeting, the reading of the proclamations. I'd like to invite Lauren to come up.
Bless you. Thank you.
Whereas for half a century, local governments in the Kansas City region have come together through the Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, to partner on regional initiatives and develop innovative solutions. Whereas the region consists of 9 counties and 119 cities which benefit from working across boundaries on a wide variety of issues and coordinating with diverse disciplines and sectors, including cities, counties, nonprofit organizations, social services, educational systems, and special districts. And whereas the region's leaders engaged in informed decision-making through insightful data analysis and participate in a problem-solving forum to positively impact progress. And whereas each jurisdiction and individual has a role in creating a strong regional community and enabling everyone to come together to achieve positive change for the next 50 years. Whereas MARC is an organization that promotes regional cooperation through leadership, planning, and action, and is guided by the core values of integrity, innovation, collaboration, diversity, and inclusion, excellence in performance, and service leadership. And whereas the City of Gladstone has participated or benefited from working across boundaries, allowing us to better serve residents because of our regional work regarding public safety, transportation, environment, early learning, aging, and shared local government services. Now therefore be it resolved, members of the City of Gladstone celebrate the collaborative work that's been accomplished over the past 50 years and dedicate June 10th, 2022, the day of MARC's annual regional assembly, as MARC 50 Forward Day in recognition of the enormous progress the region will continue to make over the next 5 decades. Be it further resolved, I, Bill Garnis, Mayor, do hereby proclaim June 10th, 2022 as Mark 50 Forward Day in Gladstone, Missouri, and urge local leaders and community members to reflect on the great progress made in the last 50 years and join us in welcoming a future built on strong regional collaboration, connections, relationships, and accomplishments. Signed this 23rd day of May 2022. Any comments?
You have a full agenda, so I won't recite the ways that your staff and elected officials have supported regional work. But just thank you for your leadership and support, and I hope you can all attend the regional assembly on June 10th to celebrate our accomplishments together.
Great, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That is also a secret proclamation because June 10th is my wife's birthday, and if she finds out that I've proclaimed it as anything but that, I'm going to be in trouble. So we'll just keep that one quiet. Item number 8 is a proclamation for World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Is being proclaimed in Gladstone for June 15th. Clay County Senior Services were not able to be here this evening to accept the proclamation, so we will make sure that they get the copy delivered to them. We'll move on to item 9, communications from the audience. Is there any member of the audience that would like to address council on any issue not on this night's agenda? Mr. Oldebecken?
My name is Jim Oldebecken. I live at 400 Northeast 76th Terrace. I just have 2 things I'd like to talk about tonight. And I'd like to say again that this is a very sacred spot, and I really appreciate that there is an opportunity for citizens to be able to say whatever's on their mind. Thank you for providing this opportunity to us. I've heard it said that those that are closest to the problem are closest to the solution. And I felt compelled about a year and a half ago, to pick a new place of worship. Not that I really attended very much, but I picked a religious house of worship where I'm more the exception than the rule. I've attended. I've heard that the Sunday morning is the most segregated moment in America, and I think that's true in my case. Most of the churches I've attended are exclusively white, almost exclusively white. I've attended a historically black Catholic church south of the river, and it has been good. I guess by talking less, listening more, I've learned more, and it has been helpful for me. I had the opportunity not too long ago to meet Mr. Alvin Brooks, who's an individual I think many of us know of, and he wrote a book, and this is the book. And as soon as I heard that he had published his memoir, he's 90 years old and going strong, not missing a beat. This is powerful, and it's a wonderful story of a person's life in civic and civil service. He became one of the first black police officers in Kansas City, Missouri in the 50s, when we still had segregated accommodations. And he continued into the 60s during that incredible time. And later became the first black department head for the city of Kansas City, Missouri. Later became the mayor pro tem, and you might recall that he ran against a gentleman very much taller than him, Mr. Funkhauser, who he lost to narrowly. He was involved with the ad hoc group against crime, recognized by George H.W. Bush, William Bennett, the drug czar, and he continues to be very involved. This is an incredible book, and it really says a lot about race in the metro area from that time that we can first remember, and brings us current. But as far as bringing us current, well, when we talk about the book, I was so excited about the book, I asked to meet with him. And at that time, I decided to buy more books. So I have several copies I brought for you and a few of our civic leaders, and they are inscribed to each of you. But, you know, since that happened, there was something that happened in Kearney in the school district that is very troubling. And it has to do with race, it has to do with a lawsuit now. And I just want to say, I took a look at some of the documents. I think it's worth a look at the lawsuit itself to see what is alleged. I think that could be helpful. And I'm grateful for this city for our efforts to be indivisible, to treat people as equals with equal rights, and to keep on it. And I thank you for your efforts, our electeds, our appointeds, our police department, everybody. Thank you. I do have one more thing to say that came to my attention just a couple days ago, and it's something I'd like to suggest that maybe the city of Gladstone consider responding to. It is said that one of the 4 pillars of democracy has to do with free and fair elections. And I had filed a complaint against somebody that I thought I alleged violated some campaign finance laws. I submitted that in February, on February 11 of this year. I was just notified that because of a 90-day period in which to present allegations of a violation or not, because of that period was missed, my complaint was tabled or rejected, not acted on. And I looked into the reason, and it has to do with the fact that at this moment in time, there are 6 positions on the Missouri Ethics Commission, and 4 are vacant. And according to this letter I received from the Missouri Ethics Commission, Elizabeth Ziegler, they've been vacant since March 16, 2021. Could somebody please send a letter to the governor and say that we think it would be a very good idea to fill those positions? Because any complaints regarding, and they have to go through a procedure because a complaint isn't a violation, but there has to be some due process here. If somebody goes through the effort to report a concern, it should be responded to. Right now, I think it's a case of malfeasance. There is a body, they're supposed to do work according to the Missouri statutes, and they haven't been since March. So I submit that for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oldebecken. Always appreciate your comments. Are there any other comments from the audience on a matter not on this evening's agenda? If not, we'll move on to communications from City Council. Councilmember Spallo.
Thank you, Mayor. A big thank you to the Parks Department. They went out and cleaned up a dumping situation at the AJ Farm this past week, and that I noticed on the way to work one morning, and that was cleaned up by the end of that day. So thank you very much, Justin, for that. I just cannot understand why people are dumping. It's a rampant issue around the entire Kansas City metropolitan area, and it is particularly popular in our parks, metro-wide. So thank you for trying to keep all the trash picked up that people so voluntarily deposit for us to pick up. In regards to our firefighters, you know, they never cease to amaze us, and I was reading a story this past week in our newsletter that some firefighters had a pretty big fire to take care of, but one of the things that they did was they saved a dog. Now, that is so important. We all know how important our animals are to us, and they resuscitated this pup and brought it back to life, and that meant the world to those people that lived in that house. And I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for their commitment, not only to our citizens, but also to our people.
Thank you. Councilman Frisbee.
Mayor Garnos, if there's any doubt, the real estate market in Gladstone is thriving. So if you're looking, good luck. What amazed me was that not only our citizens are looking within our city, that the amount of outside people, we saw people from Lenexa and Leawood and downtown and
all over the metro trying to get into Gladstone. So that says something for us as a city, all the services. So I would just say that if you're looking, good luck.
Thank you. Councilman Malins.
Thank you, Mayor. Started this morning at Meadowbrook Elementary, one of Gladstone's schools. Career Day. So I was able to speak with the 4th and the 5th graders, sharing with them what a joy it is to be on city council or sitting in the chair of the mayor. It was very active listening from the students. At the end of my presentation, I asked how many wanted to go into politics or city government, and 1 or 2 hands came up out of about 150 kids. But it was a great way to start the day. We're very blessed to have the people that we have sitting up here doing the job that you do on a daily basis. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I have nothing this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. I would echo the comments on the trash situation. I know it's impossible to keep up with in the metro, but hopefully in Gladstone we can do a better job keeping up with it, at least here. Enjoyed the ribbon cutting on May 10th for the DaVita Dialysis Clinic. Tremendous facility, and just thrilled that we have a good, thriving business in that location. It's been kind of a problematic spot, and it was a very nice operation and facility and ribbon cutting, and I'm glad something positive is going in there. And then also just wanted to mention that our Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting last week, we had to cancel the meeting due to a lack of quorum, which is a continuing issue for our boards and commissions that we're going to have to figure out a way to address. We're having just too many meetings that some people show and some don't, and we don't end quorum, and those that do attend, you know, end up going home without getting the business done. So we'll have to talk about that at some point. That's all I have. We'll move on to item 11, communications from the city manager, Mr. Wingerson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just 3 quick things. First, the outdoor pool opens Saturday. Given the weather out there this week, it could be rather chilly, so use that at your own risk. Second, City Hall will be closed for Memorial Day this coming Monday. And then finally, a big thank you to most property owners in Gladstone who chose to mow over the weekend. So they took advantage of the nice weather and helped our code enforcement folks out for the vast majority of people. So thank you very much for that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to item 12, the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, would you please explain and read the consent agenda?
A consent agenda allows the City Council to consider and approve routine items of business without discussion. Any member of the City Council, the city staff, or the public may request removal of any item from the consent agenda and request that it be considered under the regular agenda if discussion or debate of the item is desired. Items not removed from the consent agenda will stand approved upon motion by any council member, second, and unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda as published or modified.
Thank you. And can you read the consent agenda?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Remax Revolution Customer Appreciation Picnic, Happy Rock Park West, Saturday, July 16th, 2022, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off, Happy Rock Park West, Saturday, August 13th, 2022, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Restoration Run, 5K Run and 1K Walk, Atkins Johnson Farm, Saturday, August 20th, 2022, from 6 to 9:30 a.m. Pickin' on the Front Porch Bluegrass Concert, Atkins Johnson Farm, Saturday, September 10th, 2022, from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Big Shoal Country Fair, Atkins Johnson Farm, Saturday, September 17th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fiesta on the Square, Linden Square, Saturday, September 17th, 2022, from 5 to 10 p.m. Financial report for 10 months ending April 30th, 2022.
Mayor, In addition to the items City Clerk Keller just read, there's a few others. Resolution R-2219, a resolution adopting changes to the administration of the City of Gladstone's Flexible Benefit Plan. Resolution R-2220, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Sumner One for the purchase of copy machines for all city locations in the amount of $41,000. Resolution 2221, a resolution declaring certain city properties surplus and authorizing the donation of surplus items to the Midwest Recycling Center. And Resolution 2222, a resolution authorizing acceptance of work under contract with Mega KC Corporation for the Carriage Commons drainage improvements and authorizing final payment in the amount of $13,256.54 for project CP 2132. That concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Does any member of the audience request the removal of any item from the consent agenda for discussion? City Council? Mr. City Manager?
No, sir.
Is there a motion?
Mayor Garnes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move to approve the consent agenda as published.
Second?
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as listed. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as listed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Consent agenda is approved. We'll move on to the regular agenda. We have a public hearing and 3 ordinances this evening. 4 ordinances this evening. The first is the public hearing on the budget for fiscal year 2022-2023. The public hearing is open. During the public hearing, we'll hear first from city staff, followed by those who would want to testify in favor of the budget proposal, and then by those opposed. Mr. Arcurso.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I will try to keep this as brief as possible. The information that we will be going over tonight is the same information that was presented 2 weeks ago at the City Council meeting, so there have been no changes to the study session. I apologize, my eyes are not good enough to read across the screen, so I will be looking down a lot. So, 2023 budget for all budgeted funds. So overview, we're going to go over the City Council and Budget Team goals, General Fund, Combined Waterworks and Sewage Fund, Capital Improvements Program, which is Capital CIST, Capital Improvement Sales Tax, and TST, Transportation Sales Tax Fund, Community Center Parks Fund, Public Safety Sales Tax Fund, Capital Equipment Replacement Fund, and end with summary and questions. So goal number 1 of the City Council, I believe for the past 2 years, has now been to keep Gladstone as a safe place with focus on crime reduction, traffic enforcement, and the recruitment and retention of high-quality police officers, firefighters, and EMS personnel. Staff has come together along with direction of the City Council, and we believe that we have a good plan to address this issue. Invest in quality of life. The city staff is working to continue the implementation of all master plans, parks, cultural arts facilities, streets, sidewalks, development to commitment to downtown and commercial corridors, prioritize the proactive residential and commercial code enforcement program, creating a long-term development and program and plan for the Atkins Johnson Farms and Museum to make it sustainable. Welcome to diversity, prioritize infrastructure for neighborhood revitalization to meet the needs of our residents, encourage quality residential density and homeowner investment to preserve and increase housing values, promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in all that we do to continue to be a welcoming city to everyone, and promote and celebrate the City of Gladstone by creating a branding strategy. So for the general fund, whoops, a little too fast. So this is just kind of a makeup of all revenues for the general fund. As you can see, sales tax is the largest component of it, 34%, property tax 18%, gross receipts tax 4%. So total taxes make up 88% of the general fund revenues. The next slide is just kind of a comparison showing showing actual 21 numbers, mid-year 22 budget numbers, and then actual 23 budgeted numbers. As you can see, this is operating revenue, so you can see that 23 is a little bit farther than 22 and 21, but it is not outpacing CPI. Right now it's 8.5% is what was projected for 2022. Individual revenues on the general fund, property tax, $3,932,000, it's an increase of $47,950. Sales tax, $5,242,000, an increase of $777,000. 2019 sales tax, $1,960,000. Gross receipts tax is $2,968,567, a decrease of $146,433. License and permits, $648,530. Intergovernmental revenue, $1,460,500. Charges for services, $3,205,915. Fines and forfeitures, $610,000. Miscellaneous revenue, $906,500 for total operating revenue of $20,934,012. Non-operating revenue for the fund is a transfer scheduled for $293,000 and an equity transfer of $256,500 for a total of $549,500. Total revenue for the general fund for fiscal year 23 is $21,483,512. Next slide just kind of shows a breakdown of expenditures by category. As you can see, personnel is the largest category with 68%, followed by services 17%, and supplies by 5%. Following slides, expenditures by department. Police is the largest, 28%, fires 19%, followed by Public Works and Parks and Recreation with 11%. Expenditures for the general fund is general administration, $1,393,009. Finance, $1,560,337. Police, $5,954,383. Fire EMS, $4,106,371. Public Works, $2,299,562. Community Development, $745,421. Parks and Recreation, $2,424,109. Non-departmental, $927,820 for a total of $19,411,021. Capital requests or capital recommendations for the general fund, $601,500. Debt requirements, $296,000. The 2019 sales tax transfer to CIST to pay for the debt service for the fire station renovation and the police station here at City Hall is $1 million, and transfers for $175,000 for total non-operating expenditures of $2,072,500. Total expenditures for the general fund, $21,483,512. So one thing I want to throw in there real quick, I know I'm going over this really fast. There is a link online on the website that will take you to the public hearing document. So for additional information that is the same as being presented. Statement of revenues, expenditures, analysis of funds available. Starting fund balance, $4,156,489. Total revenues, $21,483,512. Equity adjustment of $256,500 gives us net funds available of $25,383,501. Expenditures, $21,483,512 gives us ending funds available of $3,899,989. Capital and supplemental recommendations for the general fund. For finance, $17,525. That will continue our GASB 87 disclosures. We're splitting the e-citation printers for police vehicles and the detective laptop docking stations with PSST. Police department, $220,000. 2 patrol vehicles with safety equipment and 4 additional vehicles for detectives and command staff. Fire EMS, $49,000. That will continue the enterprise lease for the fire chief and a chest compression system. Public Works, $308,000. Again, continuation of the enterprise lease, contractual supplement added to the base budget, fuel master supplement, an F-550 trucker equivalent bucket truck, and an animal control vehicle with insert. Parks and Recreation, $15,777. Another area for continuation of the enterprise lease, a contractual supplement that will be added to the base budget, park supplement for additional mulch, and VIP for Whiskey Fest that will also be added to the base budget. The non-departmental department, $50,000 for time and attendance software and hardware, Community development, $22,500 to continue the enterprise lease of 3 trucks. Gives us total general fund capital and supplemental of $682,802. Moving on to the combined water and sewage fund, or CWSS. We have proposed revenue of $4,335,500, which is a decrease of $163,800. We'll get into the details of that here in a second. Sanitation, $7,945,000, increase of $327,500. Miscellaneous revenue, $43,796, gives us total operating revenue of $12,324,296. There is no non-operating revenue scheduled for the fund. So total revenue for the fund, $12,324,296. Expenditures for the fund, water production, $1,301,870. Water operations and maintenance, $1,129,777. Sewer, $387,721. Non-departmental, $7,569,929 for total operating expenditures of $10,389,296. Capital and supplemental requests for the CWSS fund, $272,500. Debt requirements, $1,600,000. Transfers, $50,000, gives us total non-operating expenditures of $1,922,500. Total expenditures for the fund are $12,311,796. Something that is not on this budget that will be planned for mid-year is a grant from the Clay County for $800,000 for additional water mains. So we will see that on the mid-year budget. Beginning funds available for the CWSS fund, $2,270,396. Revenues, $12,324,296. Zero equity adjustment gives us net funds available, $14,594,692. Expenditures for the fund, $12,311,796, gives us ending funds available, $2,282,896. So over the past few years, so this is a graph of the 15 years of water usage, we can see that it's reduced significantly. It's reduced over 20%. So if you go back to the revenues page, you can see that the water usage or water revenue is decreasing. Obviously, sewer revenue has increased because of the price adjustments that we've received from Kansas City. So what does that mean? So water, we did not change the rate structure this year. The current usage rate is $4.90 per 1,000 gallons, and it will stay the same. The service charge is $9.27 a month. Sewer, on the other hand, we did receive notification from Kansas City that their rates would be changing effective May 1st, 2022, so they have already gone into effect. Currently, it's $10.85 per 1,000 gallons, and the proposed rate will be $11.50 per 1,000 gallons, so it's an increase of 65 cents per 1,000 gallons. Service charge is currently $15.26 per month. Proposed rate is $16.18 per month, or 92 cents additional per month. So what that kind of translates to on a water bill, on a monthly water bill, so you can see Gladstone currently is $92.43. It will be moving to $95.95, and that's for usage of 5,000 gallons of water and 4,000 gallons of sewage. The total increase on that would be $3.52 per month. Capital and supplemental request for the CWSS fund is $172,500. That will fund the continuation of the enterprise lease for the fund and a Freightliner heavy-duty truck. Moving on to the capital improvement program, this consists of capital improvement sales tax and transportation sales tax. We'll start with the estimated funds available at 7/1 as $12,212,835. The reason for the increased or the higher fund balance amount right now is because we did issue debt in 2021. We issued the 2020 and 21 COP. So as that money is spent down, that fund balance number will fall, or will decrease, sorry. Estimated sales tax revenue for the fiscal year 23 is $1,970,000. $1 million transfer from the general fund for the 2019 sales tax. Interest about $2,500, and we also have ARPA funds of $3 million budgeted for this fund. Total budgeted revenues for CIST is $5,972,500. As you can see, this debt has been used to finance projects over the years. Interest rates have been historically low, so we've been able to leverage a lot of those rates to, have bigger projects like, the police station and things like that. Debt payments for the fund for fiscal year 23 are $2,478,000. There's an engineering transfer of $100,000. Arts Council expenditures of $19,700. Stormwater projects $310,000. Parks projects $900,000, and facility projects $9,800,000. Total expenditures for the fund $13,607,700. Again, total beginning funds available $12,212,835. Revenues $5,972,500. Gives us net funds available $18,185,335. Expenditures for the fund $13,607,700. Gives us ending funds available of $4,577,635. Next slide is actually a presentation of the 5-year plan that was shown to the CIP committee. As you can see, in fiscal year 24, that remaining fund balance will be spent down for the facility projects, City Hall. Transportation sales tax fund. We have sales tax of $1,970,000, interest $2,500, transfers from the general fund of $100,000, transfer from CWSS fund $50,000, special transfer from the special road district of $350,000. RZB subsidy of $7,000. We also have ARPA funds in this fund of $1.2 million. We have a reimbursement from Evergy of $37,000, giving us total revenues $3,716,500. Again, this fund does also pay debt service, but not as much as the CIST fund, $682,000. Does have an engineering transfer of $100,000, local transit costs of $125,000, that pays for the KCATA. Road projects, $1,880,000. Sidewalk projects, $925,000 for total expenditures of $3,712,145. Beginning funds available for the fund, for the TST fund, $50,373. Revenues, $3,716,500. Gives us net funds available $3,766,873. Expenditures for the fund $3,712,145. Gives us ending funds available of $54,728. Again, this is the 5-year scheduled projects and revenue for the TST fund that was presented to the CIP committee. Community Center and Parks Fund. So again, this is just a chart of the revenue streams from for the community center. Consists of sales tax, charges for services. We are budgeting $1 million in ARPA revenue for the fund this year. Next slide is just kind of a comparison over the last 3 years of revenue streams, so you can kind of see everything rebounding back from the pandemic. Revenues for the community center, sales tax $984,000, charges for services $1,084,331, facility rental $179,000, intergovernmental revenue $175,000, total community center and auditorium revenue $2,422,331. For the outdoor pool, charges for services $190,500, facility rental $65,000, gives us total outdoor pool revenue of $255,500. Non-operating revenue, $1,525,000. That is the ARPA and capital portion of the North Kansas City School District funding. Miscellaneous revenue, $17,700. Transfers in, $788,550 for total non-operating revenue, $2,331,250. Total expenditures for the fund, $5,009,081. And this pie chart just shows the expenditure breakdown, 20% for the community center, 21% in auditorium, 4% outdoor pool. The largest expenditure for the fund is debt. Expenditures, $895,618 for the community center. Natatorium, $947,989. Outdoor pool, $184,224. Non-departmental, $124,039. Gives us total operating expenditures, $2,151,870. Capital recommendations for the fund, $61,000. Debt requirements for the fund, $2,197,000. Gives us total non-operating expenditures, $2,258,000. Total expenditures for the fund, $4,409,870. Whoops. That's time's up. Beginning funds available for the CCPT fund, $178,180. Revenues, $5,009,081. Equity adjustment of 0 gives us net funds available $5,187,261. Expenditures for the fund, $4,409,870. Gives us ending funds available $779,391. Capital and supplemental for the fund, $61,000 to prep and paint the comp pool. We will also be planning for the next 2 years for additional maintenance, prep and paint the diving well in 2024 and the outdoor lab area in 25. Additional $14,850 for chemicals for the natatorium and $5,475 for the outdoor pool. Gives for total capital $81,325. Public safety sales tax fund. Sales tax $984,000. Miscellaneous revenue $21,500. Gives us total operating revenue of $1,005,500. Equity transfer for the fund $86,012. Gives us total revenue $1,091,512. Expenditures for the fund $693,574 and $68,802 for total expenditures of $762,376. Sorry, total operating expenditures of $762,376. Capital requests for the fund or capital recommendations $118,136. Debt requirements $211,000. Total non-operating expenditures $329,136. Total expenditures for the fund $1,091,512. Beginning funds available for the fund $268,037. Revenues $1,091,512. Equity adjustment of $86,012. Gives us net funds available $1,273,537. Total expenditures $1,091,512. Gives us ending funds available of $182,025. Capital and supplemental for the fund. The first two are the second half of the some of the capital requests from the general fund, the e-citation printers, and the detective laptops and docking stations. We're also recommending WatchGuard in-car camera systems, 18136. That'll replace some older camera systems that we have in those vehicles. Additional WatchGuard Wi-Fi body cams, $14,550, and 2 additional police vehicles of $100,000 for $140,711. Capital Equipment Replacement Fund. Revenue sources, taxes and transfers, $282,000. Miscellaneous revenue, $64,000. Equity transfer, $293,000. For total revenue for the fund, $639,000. Expenditures for the fund, $255,000 for capital. Debt requirements, $91,000, and transfers out of $293,000 for total expenditures of $639,000. Beginning funds available for the fund, $789,434. Revenue, $639,000. Equity adjustment, $293,000. Gives us net funds available of $1,135,434. Expenditures for the fund, $639,000. Gives us ending funds available of $496,434. And that covers all of the budgeted funds for fiscal year 23. We will have a resolution on the next City Council agenda if City Council would like. Any questions?
Thank you, Dominic. Any questions for city staff?
I do have one. On the TST fund, maybe Tim can answer this. The Evergy reimbursement, $37,000, is that then for the overlay of the rest of 72nd Street?
The portion that they deserve, yes.
Right.
Right there from the tennis courts.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for city staff? Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you.
Is there anyone who'd like to address City Council in favor of the budget proposal for fiscal year 2022-2023? So please step up to the podium. If not, is there anyone here who'd like to address City Council in opposition to the budget proposal for fiscal year 2022-2023? If not, I will close the public hearing. And we will move on with item 14, the first reading of bill number 22-16, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, for Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act 2021, CRRSAA funds for the Regional Preventive Maintenance Program.
Mayor Garnis.
Councilmember Spallo.
I move to place bill number 22-16 on its first reading.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 22-16 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of placing bill number 22-16 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the City of Gladstone, Missouri and Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, for Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act 2021, CRRSAA funds for the Regional Prevention Maintenance Program.
Thank you.
Mayor Garnis.
Councilmember Spallo.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 22-16, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 22-16, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of placing bill number 22-16 on its second and final reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the City of Gladstone, Missouri and Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, for Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act 2021, CRRSAA, funds for the Regional Preventative Maintenance Program.
Mayor Garnis.
Councilmember Spallo.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 22-16 and enact it as ordinance number 4.593.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the second and final reading of bill number 22-16 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.593. Is there any discussion?
Mayor Garnis.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I just wanted to explain for the benefit of our audience that this ordinance will allow the City of Gladstone to receive about $151,000 that won't be available, according to Mr. Nevergall, until next year, but this will be used for to enhance our street maintenance program.
Thank you. Any other discussion, comments, questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Spallo.
Aye.
Councilman Frisbee.
Aye.
Councilman Malum.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Aye.
Mayor Garnis.
Aye. Bill number 22-16 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.593. Move on to item 15, bill number 22-17, an ordinance directing the city manager to execute a cooperative agreement with the North Kansas City School District for providing a school resource officer at Antioch Middle School.
Mayor,
Councilman Malums.
I move to place bill number 22-17 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 22-17 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor of placing bill number 22-17 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance directing the city manager to execute a cooperative agreement with the North Kansas City School District for providing a school resource officer at Antioch Middle School.
Here.
Councilman Malums.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 22-17, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 22-17, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? None. All those in favor of placing bill number 22-17 on its second and final reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance directing the city manager to execute a cooperative agreement with the North Kansas City School District for providing a school resource officer at Antioch Middle School.
Mayor Garnis.
Councilman Mallons.
I move to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 22-17 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.594.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the bill? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Spallo.
Aye.
Councilman Frisbee.
Aye.
Councilman Mallums.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Aye.
Mayor Garnis.
Aye. Bill number 22-17 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.594. Move on to item 16, the first reading of Bill number 22-18, an ordinance amending Title IX of the City of Gladstone, Missouri Code of Ordinances by repealing certain provisions contained therein and enacting in lieu thereof new provisions designated as Title IX Building and Construction Ordinance relating to the detached accessory structure regulations for the City of Gladstone, Missouri.
Mayor Garnos.
Councilman Frisbee.
I move to place bill number 22-18 on its first reading.
Second.
All those in favor of placing bill number 22-18 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance amending Title IX of the City of Gladstone, Missouri Code of Ordinances by repealing certain provisions contained therein and enacting in lieu thereof new provisions designated as Title IX Building and Construction Ordinance relating to the detached accessory structure regulations for the City of Gladstone, Missouri.
Mayor Garnos.
Councilman Frisbee.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 22-18, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 22-18, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of placing bill number 22-18 on its second and final reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill again.
An ordinance amending Title IX of the City of Gladstone, Missouri Code of Ordinances by repealing certain provisions contained therein and enacting in lieu thereof new provisions designated as Title IX Building and Construction Ordinance relating to the detached accessory structure regulations for the City of Gladstone, Missouri.
Mayor Garnos.
Councilman Frisbee.
I move to accept the second and final reading of bill number 22-18 and enact the bill as ordinance 4.595.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second and final reading of bill number 22-18 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.595. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Spallo.
Aye.
Councilman Frisbee.
Aye.
Councilman Mallums.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Aye.
Mayor Garnis.
Aye. Bill number 22-18 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.595. Item 17. First reading of bill number 22-19, an ordinance authorizing the City of Gladstone, Missouri to enter into an assessment contract and authorizing and approving certain documents in connection therewith.
Mayor Garnos.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move to place bill number 22-19 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 22-19 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of placing bill number 22-19 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance authorizing the City of Gladstone, Missouri to enter into an assessment contract and authorizing and approving certain documents in connection therewith.
Mayor Garnos.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 22-19, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of bill number 22-19, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of placing bill number 22-19 on its second and final reading, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
An ordinance authorizing the City of Gladstone, Missouri to enter into an assessment contract and authorizing and approving certain documents in connection therewith.
Mayor Garnos.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move to accept the second reading of bill number 22-19 and enact the bill as ordinance 4.596.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 22-19 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.596. Is there any discussion? Mr. McConnell, thank you for your patience, and thanks as always for being here. Because the title of the bill is maybe not clear to normal people what this involves, I'm sure you can explain it for us.
Happy to be the captain of the abnormal, I guess. Rick McConnell with Armstrong Teasdale. Pleasure to be here with you again. And I think that this it's best explained as the continuation of a project that the city's really already identified as a priority, an apartment project that we granted Chapter 100 tax abatement for late last year. But we know that Chapter 100 is an incentive program. It's not truly a financing program. So that means that folks who are building these projects have to go get a loan. And that's what's happened here. And very frequently when that happens, these lenders will come in with requests in terms of what they would like the city to do. And, you know, frequently we push back on those. I will say that this was very easy. It came a little later in the agenda process than we might have wished, but it was made in a very respectful manner, and the developer and his counsel have been super to deal with, and would just commend them in that respect. But what this really does is it allows PACE special assessments to repay a loan of about $12 million, and because the city, under Chapter 100, actually takes ownership of the property, those special assessments, in theory, might be paid by the city. And Scott said, well, this all sounds great, but we're not paying the assessments. And I said, okay. And so that's the document you have in front of you. It says very clearly that the city's not liable on the assessments. The company was, of course, okay with that, and the lender understood the Chapter 100 process and the fact that we're not here to pay taxes. We're here as sort of an accommodation, and that language is explicitly in the agreement. So happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Connell. Appreciate that. Any questions? Any other comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Aye.
Councilman Frisbee.
Aye.
Councilman Malum.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Aye.
Mayor Garnes.
Aye. Bill number 22-19 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.596. Item 18, is there any other business for City Council this evening? Seeing none, we are adjourned.